and the swearing carpenter, whose saw had slipped, taking the skin off his knuckles. Other passers-by, cloaked and hooded, paid no heed either, keen as they were to reach their destinations. Even the barefooted, skinny urchin sidling towards Tullus had his own purpose. "Spare a coin, sir?" he pleaded. Tullus's usual response would have been to stride by with a curse, but the boy's hollowed, chapped cheeks and twig-like limbs stirred his sympathy. "I'm getting old and sentimental," he thought, searching in his purse and plucking out not just a copper ass, but a silver denarius. "Get some hot food in you," he ordered. Sunlight winked off the coins as they spun through the air. "Buy yourself a cloak or a pair of shoes as well." Even as the urchin's face twisted with delight, "1,000 blessings on you, sir," his eyes flickered to the left. Tullus's gaze followed the boy's, and he swore under his breath. Lounging against a shop front was another urchin. This one was well fed, 3 times the size of the starveling before him, and his smirk revealed that he'd seen what had gone on. The instant that Tullus had moved on, he would take the coins for his own. Twig limbs would be powerless to resist. Tullus's anger flared, and he strode forward, trapping the better-fed urchin against the shop wall with the head of his vetus, or vine stick. A loud squawk. "I haven't done nothing, sir." "But you would have, maggot. You're going to steal my money from him, weren't you?" demanded Tullus, jerking his head at Twig Limbs, who was watching with eyes the size of plates. "No, I wasn't, sir. The urchin's protest turned into an oomph of pain as Tullus's vetus drove part way into his belly. "Don't lie to me." Tullus's flinty gaze, used to making hardened soldiers recoil, bored into the urchin. He was quick to look down, and Tullus hissed in his ear, "If anyone lays a finger on that boy, or takes his coins, that means you and your low-life cronies. I will hunt you down, and by all the gods you'll regret the day you are whelped. Do you understand?" "Yes, sir." The urchin's tone was 2 notes higher than it had been. "I won't go near him, sir, on my mother's life." Tullus lowered his vetus, allowing his victim to scuttle away. The boy didn't dare to look back. Tullus waited until he'd gone, and wasn't surprised that Twig Limbs was still standing there, hero worship filling his eyes. "Gratitude, sir. He's a nasty one. Wishing to keep his distance, Tullus cut him off. "Don't share that money with anyone." "I won't, sir. And if I can ever help—" Twig Limbs' voice died away, as his confidence did. His shoulders slumped. Knowing he meant well, Tullus gave him a clout on the shoulder and walked away. Urchins like Twig Limbs were as plentiful as the stars in the sky. He couldn't help them all, nor did he want to, and there was no point getting close to one, or he'd never have any peace. Like as not, his gesture meant that he would be descended upon every time he entered the settlement from now on, for Twig Limbs would surely blab about his unexpected windfall to his friends. Or perhaps he wouldn't, Tullus decided. The fewer people who knew, the more chance the boy would keep his money. Thoughts of street urchins made Tullus feel his purse, checking that it hadn't been slit. A pleasing quantity of coins lay within. Germanicus's recognition had included a sizable cash donative. Spurred by his recent near experiences with death, Tullus was in the mood to begin spending his reward, but on what he wasn't sure. His armour and equipment was of fine quality, and not in need of replacement. His calf-length boots were only 2 years old, and worn though his metalled belt was, he was attached to it. His polished vetus was like an extension of his right arm, and would see him into grey-bearded dotage. On impulse, he stopped by a jeweller's premises, not something he'd ever done, and there browsed the display. Most of the goods were simple, low-priced items. The bronze ram's head bracelets, phallus and tiny gladius amulets favoured by legionaries, and the polished stone necklaces worn by their women. Higher-priced trinkets had been placed further back, close to the keen-eyed shopkeeper. More were on display in the shop. Reluctant to enter, what did he know about jewellery, Tullus leaned forward to study some pearl earrings, a carnelian bracelet, and a selection of silver necklaces. Frustrated, for he had no idea what Sirona would like, and too proud to ask.